Yeah, I want to know if you have an office or anyone who want to do that project, want to assist. How can they contact you people? Yeah.
I think I will answer this. We are creating the organization in the Netherlands. We are in the process of registering it, but my email is on some of the flyers that we sent around, and also my telephone number is on the flyer, so you can always contact me. At this stage in Holland, we don't have the organization. You are the organization. We are creating it.
So you are not going to?
We are creating, but Ghana is already in process. We have about 25 members, technocrats in Ghana. Yeah. So we are creating it. So before we leave, if anybody is interested to join us, please leave your address behind. And for the people from Belgium, we come in there. We come in to host similar presentation there. And we go to Germany, we go to England. So we are in the process of trying to sensitize the Ghanaian diaspora on this respect.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency, Manano, and my fellow invited guests. I'm also Mensa, I represent DDN, Diaspora Development Network. I had an interview with the panel here this morning. My first question is, there are a lot of potentials in the system. How are your organization going to, bring them together, and also their ideas will be patented, like Madame Manu Grace on has brought us together now. We have started new, what that you said, parallel shift or something. Now, how do we have a lot of potentials, as I'm saying. How do you, I don't know, say someone can steal someone's ideas. How do you patent such ideas so that each one will be glorified? Like Madame Anukure, he has passed through a lot, and how do you rectify this situation?
Taking it back to the moderator.
Well, do you have an answer?
Yes, I do. Yes. I think when we spoke to you over during the radio interview, we did mention to you that what we are creating is an umbrella organization that would bring everybody together in a structured way, so that when you have your own initiative or your intellectual property, just by becoming an institutional member of radios, you don't even need a patent, because we'll validate and authenticate it. It cannot be replicated, certainly not within the radios community. And we're going to support good ideas. I think Mr. Lobo mentioned that. We're going to harness the investment resources to help protect such ideas. But we need to first come together as a force. So there's room. We're going to open membership to individuals and organizations. So there's room for everyone. Somebody's doing a good thing in America, Germany, but they are using the current channels. And as we said from the beginning of the presentation, we are not getting to where we ought to be. And today we are in 2018. We started as a country from 1957. We have to change it. And if we agree that this is worth implementing and we all commit to it, then it means we will be the spreaders of the good news. That, listen, if you're doing something in Ghana on your own as a diaspora, or you've got your own organization, you've got some investment opportunity from maybe friends of the diaspora, and you're putting it there, you'll be doing what we call subsistence investment. It's hand to mouth. What we need to do is to look at big impact. It's not beyond us. So we need to harness the critical mass. So there's room for everybody. This is not in competition with any organization. We say, let's all harness it, so that when the United Nations speaks, there's a private sector component that is looking at the foreign direct investment of the diasporan community, that is going directly into the communities, where we can partner the politicians and they can take the credit if they're in power. That's not a problem. We will not share the political glory with them, because we want to fight poverty with business. And there's room for everyone. Thank you.
Is your question answered?
Actually, because
some people wanted to take her concept. In case, excuse me, in case.
Well, I think if I followed him well, if this organization takes off and you are a member and you have your idea, you can, I mean, the whole organization, the structures will be put in place. If there is an idea that needs to be patented, it will be easy to advise how to do it, and then you patent your own idea operating within the organization. And then you have, a whole group behind you. And you might not need, to hire a lawyer on yourself to fight any case. The organization might have a lawyer serving the whole group, and so if a member has a problem, that will be easy to have this lawyer, defending or supporting you instead of, being a one person paying for a whole lawyer.
Okay, let me conclude by saying the Kweku is for we the blacks. Now it is shifted somewhere else. That's what I'm dragging my argument to. So
Well,
we should back good ideas, we the blacks or we the Ghanaians.
Well, I think it falls in line with, what you're trying to say. If you have, a group, fighting for something, it's, it works better than an individual, having your idea, and if someone takes it, you might not be able to fight it because you don't have money to, get a good lawyer. But if you have an organization with, let's say 50, 100 members, everybody contributing, let's say 10 euros a month to the organization, it's easy to, have a good lawyer stand by for members of the organization.
So, ability of the father, whether matter of work in their homes, hometowns, or probably worked with some of you. I work in Congo, so I'm happy to see the today hospital as administrator. Well, this is my second region. Worked in Western region, Central region, and a whole other places. Again, my short stay here has also changed my perception as to what's happening here in Holland.
Okay.
I thought it was work, and sometimes birthday bashes. But this, I see it's more of a academic and at the same time a business program, which is very, very good. And our own excellency, at the time I was in second year, was the deputy regional minister, so it's also good to see her here. Madam, I wish you well here, and the representative of the president. I'm supposed to talk on investments in Africa, or specifically back home, Mr. Moderator, if you give me the permission. And I'll be approaching the topic this way. We'll be looking at the resources and the need to invest back home, or for that matter, Africa and Ghana specifically, and then give some scenarios with regard to the local setting, specifically the housing issue, and then making a case for investment in agric, tourism and the manufacturing sector, a way forward, and probably a couple of conclusions, observations. The idea of this presentation is to generate discussions for networking amongst ourselves, and we're looking at the evidence on the ground and evidence, which, of course, the positive ones. And then while we are still at where we are, and probably make some suggestions as to how we can move forward. We are somehow amazed at how places like countries like Singapore, Indonesia, or the Asian tigers have, within a very short time, though we all started with them almost at the same time, but they have taken the quantum leap ahead of us. And we still, as Tatanka said, we need to be looking at ourselves and introspection and see how best we can, because it's our own fault, it's our own making, and therefore it's our duty or responsibility to put things right. The data available, both at the international level and then both at the community level, the business partner communities, and of course, we need to look at the evidence, the data as it is now. There is a saying back home, an adage. I think the founders are able to. This is very well. Certainly, we have what it takes, but the issue is what is happening to it. Coal, diamond, sugar, salt, uranium, copper, bauxite, silver, petroleum, coke. I think I've mentioned cocoa. And then there are fruits. We are also among the 10 fastest growing economies. North Africa particularly, and then Sahara holds most nuclear oil, the resources such as coal, coltan, gold, copper, everything you can name on. The aperture said, especially Ghana, there will be Name has endowed us, or we are endowed. There will be I also say timid epidemic. Let us now look at this slide, which is about the economies, the growing economies in the world. And I think Ghana is part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is from the World Bank statistics. Ghana, a real globe at real prices. 8.3%, Ethiopia 8.2, 7.3 for India, Cote d'Ivoire 7.2, which is not bad and very encouraging. If your economies are said you way to pong and answer air cost, Ghana you come home. In Africa, Ethiopia, you come home. But these resources I can answer Japadia na media chain cannot be intimate and young home for small. I just said you invest in it and I said boy a year because a petrol honor say one two a shahokwa. So the hokwa. Those of us from offense we pride ourselves as I see a cast I see. You have a festival called Moeningo Festival. It depicts or it captures what we call the land. It is something we are very proud of. But as I say, again, about 1.7 billion spent a total of $6.7 trillion. Nipa or Myanmar top sika yɛdie ɛwɔ anim paa yi trillion ɛnyɛ sika ketewa 6.7 trillion. Nti sɛ ɛhwɛ nneɛma a ɛho bɛba mfa so a anaasɛ ɛbɛtumi ɛde ayɛ biribi ama no akɔ anim a, then we are talking about food and beverages, we are talking about education and transportation, housing, again housing, consumer goods, hospitality and creation, healthcare, financial services, and telecommunication. Na nneɛma bɛɛ na ehia yɛwɔ saa agyapadeɛ nneɛma a ɛsɛ sɛ ehia. So what are our needs? Yɛka nneɛma a ebɛtumi agyina so ama sɛ bi yɛtumi de ahyehyɛ nneɛma broni sɛ policy anaa yɛtumi de atu mpɔn. Na wohwɛ yɛn budget anaasɛ budget a aban de hyɛ sika ho hyehyɛeɛ a aban de ama yɛn anaasɛ 2018 budget a aban wɔ nisuade bebree a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ. Na yɛyɛ budget nso a yɛhwɛ anaasɛ wɔn ma yɛhu nneɛma ehia yɛn. Na deɛ di kan no yɛ adan. Adan deɛ kyerɛ sɛ yɛka Ghana adan asɛm a na ɛyɛ asɛm a ɛyɛ asɛm ɛyɛ yi papapapa ɛbi ɛteteɛ. Dan ɛnso korakorakorakorakorakorakorakora a kyerɛ sɛ since 2010 1.7 million units are required. 200,000 units required annually. Adan ɛbɛhia. But we need about 34 billion and yet to solve this problem or to deal with this housing deficit. And the affordable housing projects I started now we were for more 2005. And said if and a business so a problem. And said balcony Kumasi bi wɔ hɔ yes na nka bɛtumi aboa paa but say mo let us look at placenta and then agric 42% of GDP. Basically, the year of Ghana, and said, and your man, you produce new in 42%, and I said, or how much you move at your name, primary and agro processing industries. The more as soon as you panel a work, about it takes about 50% or a little above that who are engaged in agric. Cocoa employs about 1.5 million. Boko just a nipa so at the BB about what we call the planting for food and jobs, and then one district, one factory. It's still industry, it's still agric. Because any money be produced, it needs to be processed. So why is it necessary to invest in agric in Ghana? I'm saying 16% of agric land is permanently cropped. 16%, only 16%. 28% is arable and 56% is permanent pasture. Create larger and more productive farms. Increase agric yields because the seeds, quality of the seeds, there's a problem with that. We need to improve the quality of the seed. And then irrigation. Normally, since you are taught there, then you come nearby. And so there's a need to look at irrigation as a critical component in agric revolution. Education only in 8 regions and 93% in 4 regions. Then improving and increase the number of warehouses, markets, and also there, and this to reduce the post-harvest losses. That we have come from watermelon, busa, na sepa. Meanwhile, so schools so now are so cry fruits ground, you mean any. And can we did lunch? Yeah, don't come. Bible chamber the fruits are with you. Just the DBA. But I'm glad the answer. Your men who near you men come home cry. But we have 2 weeks. We try to put a look over my anyway, that's it. So, here said, tourism and manufacturing cases. And said, they say tourism there. Yeah, a month, papa, yeah, here said, agrochemicals and related agri-products leads to manufacture agri-inputs locally. And fertilizer, any nyama, go have. In your mango farm, Kasiapa, or 431. And so, more mango, no. I have in agrochemicals, no. will have to also be in adequate supply. Tourism, the Acacia can maybe because as a chief, I also know what the festivals can also do. I'm involved, I've been the chairman of the planning committee of the morning call. As at now, November, we are organizing it. I want near ma, the baby, Skaka cry, no, at the year school library, community library, the division so educational fund. They sponsor needy and brilliant students back home. And also feel a beer, because if you are nipa back home or be our town near my beer and also improve his personal economy. Something which has to be encouraged, supported, and sustained. Then President Mko, Germany, President to say BW is going to be open. Of course, locally it is also we have the Kantanka also there, but there are still magazine Kumasia. I just said car manufacturing industry and assembly plants. They were best a Dukranka and Yeshwi. Also we need to also encourage them. But all these things can be done, but looking at the way we do things. And now a man said to be said, BBR, as I said, probably 3 years. I think it is time that we look at it and see that if we are betting I feel so working with the traditional authorities in partnership with the diaspora. Dr. Jesse, Dr. Ankra, we talked about a lot about chiefs, engaging the chiefs. And I think it's very, very important. Because custodians of the land, it's important that probably we are engaged in a more meaningful way. Asante, as I see the or Hinasi, as I see the Hobia is under families maybe working on them. And the idea is that a banker of Peso ABB and answer Obia Peso Baby Yuma, Emma. But sometimes, appropriate compensation, and that is sometimes very important.
Always.
Because Nanan more ways. The Messiah money no come. And now sometimes family be yes man or one the bestest ever can one win the year and no credit my vehicle too so and you so now they are show But I think he made a very good point that we need to deal directly with the true owners of the land. Oh, how the scam will be so on here now. Sometimes we take the flag as chiefs for indulging in this multiple land sales and all those things. Anyway, it's unfortunate, and I don't think that attitude or that habit it should be condemned in every way. But those who are very serious must necessarily, because of Hinibia, because to one so it's all yeah. We need to register the land, everything, and then you have access to it. You can work mutually, which is mutually beneficial to the community and those investors. And there should be transparency in all the dealings, because your elders must be part of all this, rather than probably going solo as far as discussions are concerned. Then the leadership in socio-economic development is very, very important. Even here, sometimes when the festivals and other things are happening in a year, it's also good to be deeply involved and then take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves. But I think they underline all those things it's about the land. And then the community participation is very important. And here I just want to even suggest something like equity participation, rather than probably outright sale or outright. It's good. Let's engage them so that equity would further promote. It's, I think, the best way, and probably the surest security as far as this is concerned. And we can use all these things to reduce poverty, and probably the global commitment, social sustainable development goals, are so doing. Because we have a lot of people now, maybe university, they are there looking out for opportunities. So I believe that with these things is properly planned, properly coordinated. That's what man so be a and then will be over school. And that is not the best thing. So, as a chief, I'm also a public servant. I'm also working on the Ghana Health Service and also in academia. I believe that we'll be able to work with you. Probably I may join you as one of the patrons or one of the members back home to support and then engage our colleagues back home to be able to support this good cause. Thank you very much.
Compliment. Nana, really, there was a P. Every day, beside me, one question. I ask myself a question: why do we have land yet we are hungry? Why do we have so many hard-working Ghanaians, human resources when it comes to the youth, energetic yet unemployed? I think there is a missing link, and radios is going to provide that platform and spearhead our development. So thank you, Nana, once again. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mubarak. My question to Nana is on agriculture. I'm very happy when you make mention of agriculture. As a young boy from the northern region, that's where my interest is. So let me 1 minute to expatiate on my question. Like you said about agriculture, I don't have problem, but the thing is this: we've had a lot of rhetorics about agriculture, boosting agriculture and all that. But I have the opportunity to meet with local farmers in the northern region. And then the thing is, we can adopt more sophisticated ways of farming and stuff. Because I met a guy who told me that he was interested in mechanical farming at the north. So the question is this, he's going to invest. At the end of the day, do we have good motorable road to transport the goods from wherever the farmers are? Secondly, do we have industries to feed? And at the end of the day, do we have ready markets for the produce that we are going to produce with the farmers? Thank you.
Something to say about it. If not, I think this is more of a question for, let's say, the government. And I don't know if Excellency will. Okay.
My brother, that's the reason why the president brought this idea of one district, one factory. Like in the north, as you are saying, we used to have a corned beef factory, the tomatoes factory and all that, and they have all gone down. But then, very soon, there are some people who have come to see the tomato factory, and very soon is going to. Most of the small industries that are in the north, they don't need anything, especially to reopen again. The only thing is they need the fruits or the vegetables that they need to open there. But in Ghana, the Ghanaians, we go to, Burkina Faso for tomatoes and leave our tomatoes down just to go. And if we are going to have this in your whole day planting and harvesting, then after you just dump them somewhere to rot, then there's nothing that you can't call yourself a farmer. I hope you were talking about mechanic farming. And in the northern region, what I know is you are the ones that are enjoying from this mechanic farming, because they have brought the machinery and they rent it for you people. In the south, because of the thick trees that we've got, the forest, for cocoa and all that, we don't enjoy the privileges that you enjoy in mechanical farming. So the only thing is to get used to it. And I'm so happy that you say you go and see your people. When you go and see your people, the only thing you have to do is educate them. Because even some of us in the south, we have a different idea of the north. And we think, okay, the north is getting help more than the south. And there should be something in between that individually will help to make it. Because if we help, it's for all of us. If we don't enjoy it now, our children and grandchildren will come and enjoy it. We should stop everything MPP, NDC. If we stop that and we say we are all building Ghana together, there's nothing that will stand in our way. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Your Excellency. I think I'm glad Her Excellency actually mentioned the negative perception. I think the question is trying to address the current situation on the ground. And I want to assure the young man that with radios, we are going to take advantage of all the opportunities you are highlighting. The need to build the roads and connect it to the hinterland or where the need is. The need to invest into industries that are needed in those communities. The need to empower and create jobs in those communities for the young ones who are coming out of the university. So this is actually what Radios is trying to do. Come together, create a critical mass, build stronger financial and investment muscle so that we can partner government at a strategic level to participate. For instance, I can give you an example. There's an organization that is part of Radios. And basically, the plan is to provide aggregates for construction of roads. About 70% of the urban roads within Accra are not motorable. The various places in Accra, is the capital city. So you can imagine the rest of the country. I'll leave that to your own imagination. So I can assure you, Radios is actually looking at the interventions, the opportunities, the need to create a bigger financial muscle so that we can take on the big projects. most of the organizations who are standing on their own cannot do big ticket projects. And so this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that our private sector initiatives backed by the diaspora is able to take on big ticket projects. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's okay. Nana.
Dear Kwame Sasa, Supi Komante. Yeah, my question is, we're talking about development, and when Nana was speaking, he made mention of India, Singapore. Can we ask ourselves, why are we lagging behind? I think if you take China, they had their independence in 1949. India had their independence in 1948. But today, Malaysia, 1947, I think they are about. It takes one person to move a country. China had Mao Zedong. When he started everything, they were saying, oh, it's bad. Mao Zedong, blah, blah, but today China is second. The whole world. India had Mahatma Gandhi. It's a big country, and India today, they're going to the moon. But Africa, Kwame Nkrumah, or whatever it is, 1957 we had our independence, and today we are still talking about development. So what is keeping us behind? Our mindset. We should look at that one aspect also. Now, look at China today. China is the second most powerful country now, economically. But it took 1949, Mao Zedong to say, we are going this way. What is radio going to do differently to make us, to bring the development? Thank you.
Very simple answer because of time. First and foremost, I want to thank Nana Supi for his rather inspiring contribution. And I can assure him that it is ideas that move the world. He mentioned quite rightly that these are people who believed in something, they stood by it, and they created the critical mass. If we agree that there's a need for a paradigm shift, and we identify with some of the problems that Radios is trying to address, then I think we should not live here as spectators. We should all commit, and for the first time say that we want our governments to run the way they are running, but we have to complement them. We can live here with the commitment that we are going to bring everybody together. So if you know somebody who is doing something in the diaspora and doesn't want to belong to Radios or have the benefit of linking to Radios, then you say you really don't want to help our people. It's the decision and the commitment. There was a study not long ago, and they realized that all the advanced countries who are prosperous, including the target economies who are now following, it is not about the size of their countries, it is not about the resources they have, it is actually about the attitude of the people, their mindset. And I think Nana Supi mentioned that. If we can change our mindset and will not be interested in who is behind this, is he NDC or MPP? Who is behind this? What is his motive? Oh, I don't like him. Or he's from the north, or he's from the south, or he's from the east, or the... So we are not going to put our efforts behind it. We're not going to go anywhere. Yeah. And that's why Radios is committed to mobilizing the diaspora resources so that we can set the standards. This leadership is necessary. China went to the diaspora, brought all their diaspora professionals and the resources to team up with the local ones to help bring it to where it is today. 1967, Israel, after the Camp David Accord, they went to the diaspora. They rallied around their technical resources, and they teamed up with the local ones to bring it to where it is today as a very powerful nation in that part of the world. If we cannot mobilize our diaspora resources the way we are proposing right now, forget it. It's not going to happen. Thank you.
Founder of Nananum Association in Belgium. Because I was having a vision. And today, my dream has come true. Why am I saying this? This is the first time we are invited, or I'm invited. Because this is my third time of coming to this program, dancing with the kids. You just come and dance, and Mama and some money. No, near we are only a Saturday. Na media ye de Damusonko, Mammy Getty, Gifty. Madam Vero, Madam Ase, and she said, Mashi, Yan Cosaqua. We can't have what you're crying so better, better than a mucho. Maybe a monty. If sent you money, you didn't. Yes, Henry. Make us happy pray. If you say it will be the America, I don't know, say. Nana said, say to me, and yes, you to me. Obey Petro. Oh, Yenchi. If you say, do you be poor? And what this one's an atofo. Say, the ye come on, you are no better upon a burn. Abamu, and I said MPP NDC. Said Dr. Kanye. Ghana first, let us see. Thank you for your vocab. And Madam Ambassador, I throw salute to you. Sir, the Ayan in Nay, a foundation be a year lay, and Chirimano and Chirimano. The job will be assistant 9 years, and so many years. Because we are so about. And in the same way, I said, the Ayan, woman call your new anchor, yes, say, and pay the army high and say, no, if you will free him by, yen starting positions. I debating a penny. Why? A branch of Casa went away, which has some more kaya, na, a so sweet, which woman said, oh no, what dream be mine. And Nana make us some Emery Papa, they will be playing camera myself.
Individuals who are having something in Ghana and they are asking whether through radios it can be also planted into one district, one factory. Some people are also asking, Mommy, through radios, I have 2 apartments. Through them, through radios, whether they can rent it or do something with it in Ghana. No, we are tired. My sister sitting here in front of me here, Anita, in her own village, she went on holidays and she realized that the teenage pregnancy is too much. So let me set up something small for them. Come and learn how to sew. Or hook up a chocolate of we saw your gun in the city. She's gone. So she's also asking, is it possible through radios? Can it be planted into one village, one district? Another lady, a lot of them. Is it possible, Her Excellency? Nana, the one who's spoke here. Is it possible through us, through radios, we can set in our small companies we are having in Ghana into one village, one district, one factory. Thank you.